Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in, to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven. All right, so as Moses is continuing to speak onto them, right, that you're pretty much getting ready, to go into that land. This day doesn't mean exactly in that 24-hour span, but in this soon, right, sooner or later, and you're gonna go possess that land and take over nations that are greater and mightier, all right, whose defenses and walls are reaching high up into the sky. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, which were known for being tall, likened unto giants, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Meaning you're about to go and take over some pretty great people, right? People that have a reputation, right, of basically the dominating, right? Who can fight against these people? But understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth before thee. As a consuming fire he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out. So don't sweat it, no matter how fierce your adversaries are. It's the Lord that's going before you. And just like a consuming fire destroys anything in his path, he's going to destroy them as well before you, right? Giving you the upper hand over them. And that's how, right, you're going to drive them out and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart, after that the Lord thy God hath cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations the Lord doth drive them out from before thee. So don't get proud and start thinking in your mind that, oh, it was because we're so good and we're so righteous that the Lord brought us into this land. But rather it was because these nations were so wicked that the Lord drove them out the land using you. Not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thine heart dost thou go to possess the land. So you're not going in there because you're so righteous and perfect, but for the wickedness of these nations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the Lord said that, right? He said, I'm going to drive the Canaanites out of here, but their wickedness is not at its measure yet. And when it is, I'm going to have them driven out of here. So Moses is saying it's not because you're so perfect or righteous. It's because of the wickedness they're doing and the promise the Lord made to your forefathers. That's why he's bringing you in here. Understand therefore that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. So it's not because you're so righteous, you hard-headed. Okay, you're stubborn. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness. From the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt until ye came unto this place, ye have been rebellious against the Lord. He said, I'm going to give you manna from heaven. On the 6th day, gather double. On the 7th, there's none. People came on the 7th looking for some. He said, gather only enough. It's your daily bread. They gathered more than enough. It bred worms. Okay? And that was just the beginning. Also in Horeb, ye provoked the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you, because they did what? They were worshiping that golden calf. When I was gone up onto the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And the Lord delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of God. And on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. So the day when the Lord came down in the form of a fire and he spoke unto them, he basically spoke unto them the 10 commandments. And he wrote that on those two tables of stone and gave it to Moses. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from hence. For thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. So go, you got to go now, because they're making themselves vile. They're sinning. All right. And then when it says they quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them, it's like if the Lord gives you a path and says, go on this path, follow this road, and immediately 2 seconds, you take 2 steps and you already jumping onto the left, talking about I'm about to bust a detour real quick. That's what they're doing. Okay, they're not following the way the Lord set for them. They have made them a molten image, all right, which is an idol, melted. It was gold melted and reshaped into a form of a idol, a calf. Moreover, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people, and that means they're stubborn, they're hard-headed. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven. Under heaven is the earth. And blotting out their name means I'm going to destroy them. They're not going to be a people anymore. And I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. So let me start over with you. Let me just destroy them, and I'll start over with you. You'll be the forefather of a new nation that's going to be greater than them. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord had commanded you. And I took the 2 tables, and cast them out of my 2 hands, and brake them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread, nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. So basically, Moses came down, he saw them doing wickedness, he got so mad, he broke the 2 tables of stone which had the commandments on them. So he had to end up going back up there again for another 40 days and 40 nights to go and basically beg the Lord and get another 2 tables of stone with the commandments written on them. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. So Moses is saying, I was afraid because the Lord was pretty much ready to completely annihilate your asses. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. So he managed to talk the Lord out of it, so to speak. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him because he built the calf. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount. So he basically cast it and poured it into the water, and he made him drink it. And at Taberah, and at Massa, and at Kibroth Hattava, ye provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you. That is when they sent the spies to go check out the land. They said the land is good, but they came back with an evil report, except for Joshua and Caleb. And then it caused the people to say, oh, no, we're too afraid. We can't go in there and take it over. So as it says, then ye rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said he would destroy you. So Moses said he basically had to go back up there for another 40 days and 40 nights, like he did the first time, because of your wickedness. I prayed therefore unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor unto their wickedness, nor to their sin. So just please pardon them. And don't forget, you made you gave your word to their fathers, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you destroy them now, you're going back on your word. Lest the land whence thou broughtest us out, which is Egypt, say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Oh, he said he was going to deliver them. He couldn't keep his promise. He just hated them, so he went and killed them. And that would stain the Lord's reputation. Yet they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power and by thy stretched out arm. And that brings us to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.